So according to lead producer Fabian Salomon via Arab Hardware, Mirage is aiming to recreate the same feel as the specialized parkour system of Assassin's Creed Unity. Solomon said, "This is our absolute goal indeed. We are seriously trying to reach this level with Mirage. And since Baghdad is as dense as I mentioned, we want the players to enjoy their time in the city through parkour, which was and still is one of the most important pillars on which we base the gameplay in Assassin's Creed Mirage." So let's talk about that. A lot of you right now are probably really hyped up at that news. Oh my god, Mirage is gonna have the same parkour as Unity. That's amazing. Is it? Hang on a second. Is it? Did Assassin's Creed Unity have good parkour? Yes and no. What was Assassin's Creed Unity's parkour known for? Good for? It was from getting from point A to point B in the most stylish, aesthetically pleasing, satisfying way. And I think we can all agree when we say we had a lot of fun going through the city of Paris and flying from rooftop to rooftop, doing flips and stuff like that. Now, before we continue in that direction, what was the Ezio games such as Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and I will even throw in there Assassin's Creed 1, what was that parkour system good for? It was from getting from point A to point B in the best thought out and productive way possible. You'd look at a tower, for example, in Assassin's Creed 2. Okay, how am I going to get to the top of that tower in the best possible way that I can? Also, how do I get to the top of that tower? Each building is unique and it's not as straightforward as climbing through one direction. You have to figure it out. Maybe you'd start by climbing the face of the building. You'd get to about halfway perhaps and you'd realise, even with ledge jumping, you can't really get any higher going the route you are currently. What you'd do is you'd shimmy your way around and you'd find the best way possible up from there. And it would be a challenge almost, a puzzle almost, to get to the top of that tower. Now, it wasn't just towers, but that was an example. A more in-depth example could be the tomb missions in the Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood and Revelations games. You would be posed with the challenge, the puzzle of figuring out where to go to get the assassin seal, how to climb to that area, what to do. You'd have time challenges, and the climbing gameplay overall was built around immersive gameplay and made you as a player question yourself, question how you're going to do it. Now back to Assassin's Creed Unity. It was a lot of fun to play. It was satisfying, as I said, and aesthetically pleasing. Was it thought out? Did you have to question how you were going to climb? To the extent of the Ezio Collection games? No, you didn't. You could climb from one face of the tower and not have to bother about going around, because you wouldn't have to worry about catching certain ledges, what you can and can't climb. Everything was climbable. All you really had to do was push the left thumbstick forwards, hold RT and maybe A, wait 10 seconds, it would look really cool and feel very stylish, and then you'd be up there. Now, these are two very different styles of parkour systems within Assassin's Creed games. So when people say Assassin's Creed Unity had the best parkour system, we really need to think about it on a fundamental level. Did it really? Is it a matter of opinion? I suppose so, but if we're going to talk about objective enhancement of gameplay, I'm personally going to have to say the Ezio games had a much better parkour system. Sure, it didn't look as good, and maybe sometimes didn't feel as satisfying when traveling through the cities, but it engaged you, it kept you in the game, and if anything, it immersed you more in the game. If Ubisoft are really wanting to push a new parkour system to intertwine with the city within the game, the best way they can do this in a perfect world is to have a really nice blend of Assassin's Creed Unity's visual style of parkour with the Ezio game's deep thought out parkour system. This way you're going to be more immersed, have more of a challenge when traversing the city, it's going to feel stylish and aesthetically pleasing when traveling, and they can bring back those beautiful tomb missions. Now, as I said, that is in a perfect world. If I could wave a magic wand and decide what I wanted for parkour in an Assassin's Creed game going forward, that's what I choose. However, those parkour systems are so drastically different from one another, I can't imagine how they could work together. If you want, on one hand, stylish parkour that feels great, streamlined, and looks good, you can't be having the puzzle, the challenge, the deep system of an Ezio collection style bit of parkour, because that requires you to take your time to think things through, to switch up your parkour actions midway through climbing. Something Assassin's Creed Unity's parkour system does not allow for. It's a sacrifice of one or the other, really. Do you want Assassin's Creed Mirage's game to feel good, or do you want it to play good? I'm not saying one or the other is better or worse, so you can choose what you want. Your opinion is your opinion, and mine is mine. But I just think personally, again, if it was up to me, I would pick the Ezio Collection style parkour to be in this game. And those are my reasons why. I'd be so happy to see the visual aesthetics of parkour from AC, and let's face it, it's still a million times better than what we've had in Valhalla and Odyssey. That is honestly a joke. But if we're really going to talk about going for good parkour, we want a mix between Unity's, and I sound like a broken record right now, but a mix between that and the Ezio games. Now, notably, I would say probably Brotherhood. And does that mean revamping and creating a completely new parkour system? Yes, it does, because I don't think you can create a challenge with parkour based off of Unity's parkour gameplay, because if that was the case, we would have had that in Unity, and they did try it with certain segments of the game where you would have to climb certain ways, and it just didn't work. There was one segment in the game where there was smoke and traps and stuff, and you had to climb to the other end, and it was the most fucking annoying thing I've ever had to do, and I kept failing, and it wasn't failing because I wasn't good at it, it was failing because the system of parkour wasn't good in that way. Yes, it looked good, but when you actually had to try and figure stuff out and climb and switch to another ledge and do that stuff, it just didn't work. So yes, we will have to revamp the system. And do I think Ubisoft are going to do that or have done that? No. No, I don't. I think they're probably just going to take it back to Unity's if they really want to change it from Valhalla's. And honestly, I'm not complaining. Like, I'm cool with that. Again, as I said, it's much better than what Valhalla's was. But I just think people forget that, yes, Ezio didn't look as badass as Arno did when he was climbing through the rooftops of Venice and Florence, but there was much more weight to your actions when climbing, and you really had to make decisions on the go. Along with that, there was more skill to you as a player when climbing, not just thinking about things, but making certain decisions when on the go, such as when to wall eject, when to wall eject to the left onto another wall, climb up, wall eject again, drop down a little bit, and then in you go. It was stuff like that, especially with timing. If you time things right, you could land certain things, you could get to certain areas in different ways that weren't just presented to you on a plate. It was made and found by you. You discovered that new way of parkour and you utilized the tool to your own benefit. Unity's parkour wasn't like that. It looked so good, but anyone could do it. Now guys, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on that are, because as I said, I know a lot of you guys think Unity's parkour was the best. And you know, that's your opinion. My opinion is it was visually the best, but system-wise, Ezio Collection was the best. Now, I feel like I've repeated myself loads in this, and I feel like these videos are very rambly, just like the last one, but I want to speculate and talk about this game before it comes out. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts. You know, I want a conversation going. I want to hear what the community has to say. So if you enjoyed this, you want to give your thoughts, and you want to see more like this, then press that subscribe button and the like button to let me know that you did enjoy it. There'll be many more videos on Assassin's Creed Mirage coming in the future very soon. I'm also working on a few big gaming videos down the line. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek bit of info. I'm doing a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic retrospective 1 and 2. I'm doing a GTA Online retrospective, and I'm also working on an Elder Scrolls 6 story-esque video, and I won't go into too much detail on what that is because I don't want anyone to hear that and copy me because it is quite unique, I think. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing that stuff in the future, it's not really coming anytime soon because I'm working hard on this stuff and I don't want to rush it, but it will come down the line and we'll have many videos just like this in the meantime. If that sounds like something you want to be subscribed to, then press that subscribe button. I love you guys. I will speak to you soon. May the Father understanding guide us. No, I'm joking. See you in a bit. I don't know.